Thank you, and I now give the floor to the Norwegian Refugee Council.
Mr. President, Special Rapporteur, through its humanitarian mission in occupied Palestinian territory, the Norwegian Refugee Council observed Israeli conduct that not only entrenches the dependency of Palestinians on all forms of international aid, but also egregiously violates international humanitarian and human rights law. These policies effectively deny Palestinians their social and economic rights, their right to development, as well as their inalienable rights to self-determination. In the Gaza Strip, these violations are manifested in Israel's siege, leading to a stifled economy and chronic and deepening dependence on humanitarian aid. Israel has maintained excessive restrictions despite the desperate needs of the population in the health, water and energy, shelter and education sectors. In the West Bank, Israel's policies of settlement, establishment and expansion have generated a coercive environment that puts Palestinians at heightened risk of forcible transfer. The imposition of an Israeli-controlled planning system in the West Bank, beyond its patent illegality, has failed to provide adequate development opportunities for Palestinians. Their need for housing, livelihood, and public services go unmet and cannot be fulfilled without territorial contiguity and space for development. Prolonged occupation could not but oblige the occupant to intervene for the benefit of the occupied population when so demanded. Israel has demonstrated over decades an aberrant dereliction of duty. A corollary right to provide development and humanitarian assistance rises when the occupying power fails to discharge its duties accordingly, which Israel unjustifiably obtrudes by obstructing the provision of aid. Special Rapporteur, how can the Council uphold international law in a way that is consistent with the right to relief and development of Palestinians under occupation? I put this question to you and to the members of this Council, and I thank you.
I now give the floor again to Mr. Michael Link for his final comments. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. In overseeing the questions that have been put to me, the first question by the Norwegian Refugee Council: how can the Council uphold the right to ensure humanitarian aid is supplied in an efficient and satisfactory way to those who badly need it, particularly in Gaza? This requires both the cooperation and the pressure of the international community to ensure that Israel allows the borders that it blockades around Gaza to be able to receive sufficient humanitarian supplies. What Gaza needs, in effect, is an international Marshall Plan that will help to revive its economy, restore its infrastructure, provide a lubrication for work for its 2 million inhabitants, ensure safe drinking water, and otherwise allow them to overcome what is a man-made or human-made catastrophe that is now facing them. But this Marshall aid, this economic plan for international development of Gaza, would be fruitless unless the Israeli blockade of Gaza is lifted. I'm asked questions by Mr. Noor with